Ladies and gentlemen, we present the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hello, I am Kevin Carman, Executive Vice President and Provost and your Master of Ceremonies for today. As we commence this ceremony in Reno, Nevada, we acknowledge that the University of Nevada, Reno is situated on the traditional homelands of the Nama, Northern Paiute, Washoe, Noa, Western Shoshone, and Nuavi, Southern Paiute peoples. These lands continue to be a gathering place for indigenous peoples, and we recognize their deep connections to these places.
It's time to believe in the things we know to be true. Right now, the world is waiting for you, for your ideas, your curiosity, your creativity, your compassion, your way of doing things, the Wolfpack way. Through challenge, you found strength, resilience, perseverance, doing what needs to be done for yourself and for others, turning adversity into opportunity to make the world a better place for everyone in it. That's the Wolfpack way. And that's what we celebrate today.
It is now my pleasure to start today's ceremony by welcoming the President of the University of Nevada, Reno, Brian Sandoval.
Class of 2020, I'm honored and excited to be here with you today. Thank you for allowing me to say a few words on your special day. There are a lot of people who are proud of you. We need to take a moment to acknowledge the unfailing support you've received from your family and friends, whose encouraging words and helpful nudges always reminded you that you could do it. We also need to thank the faculty and staff of the university. Our faculty and staff are the lifeblood of our institution. They impart knowledge. They challenge you. They provide direction and understanding. They, too, were always there for you. Let's take a moment to acknowledge the vital role these people played in your accomplishment. The past year has been challenging, to say the least. We've faced a pandemic that disrupted every aspect of our lives. In March, instruction and many operations shifted to remote delivery. As you were preparing to enter the final stretch of your academic careers, you discovered you needed to stretch yourself even further and become even stronger and more resilient than you ever thought possible. Sometimes, when you're living in history, you don't realize that you're making it. I truly believe this was one of those times for all of you. It would have been easy to call it quits, to let the pandemic take on an even more outsized influence than it already had. Instead, you kept moving forward. Although there were some tough days, you retained your optimism and hope for the future. I believe you were channeling something that runs deeply on our campus. I'd like to take you back in history to the influenza epidemic of 1918. That was a terrible, fatal time in American history. About 675,000 Americans lost their lives. Nevada and our university weren't immune. In fall 1918, the epidemic hit Reno. On October 11, 1918, University President Walter Clark issued the following order. Quote, beginning on October 11th, a military guard will be set about campus and no one will be allowed to go from the campus or come on the campus except by express permission. Close quote. The university said the order was needed to check the spread. The quarantine on campus was lifted about a month later. Still, it felt like the world was falling apart. No one was sure what the post-World War I world would even look like. There was uncertainty. This is where the students of this university stood up. They generated the resources to improve healthcare on campus. They wore masks. They did what needed to be done. Just as today, ASUN is looking out for the well-being of our students during a pandemic, the students of 1919 were doing the same thing. 2 months later, in May, the class of 1919 graduated. A headline in the Reno Evening Gazette wrote of the class of 1919, Class of 19 passed through prosperity, war, epidemic, and disorganization. Graduates through miracle. I don't know if it was a miracle. I do know that of the 22 graduates who received bachelor's degrees and the 2 who received advanced degrees, many of them went on to improve our world. Many took the challenge they'd weathered as a profound personal call. They were people like Isabel Slavin, who over the coming decades became a women's rights leader in Nevada. They were people like Frank Harriman, who had been student body president, enlisted for the war, then returned to campus to finish his degree. His family established a trust with the university to help students whose academic careers were interrupted by unforeseen events. They were people like Laura Louise Ambler. Laura graduated from the university in 1919 with her Bachelor of Arts degree from the College of Arts and Science. But that's only the beginning of her story. By 1922, she had moved to New York City and was the press secretary for the Committee on International Cooperation to Prevent the War. She became one of only a handful of women at the time to earn a journalism degree from Columbia College in New York. These were the people who knew in their hearts they were going to be better for what they had experienced in their young lives. They also knew they were going to do better for others throughout their lives. Now it's your turn. It's your time. All of you have this within yourselves as well. You've developed skill sets that are going to help you lead others. The adaptability you've shown demonstrates that you will not only understand the new normal, you will help others understand it in your workplaces and in your communities. Instead of hiding from it, you will lead us through it. One of the gifts of this class has been that you've helped our institution grow in important ways. We are facing a national reckoning on race, on social injustice, on income and education inequality, on fundamental notions of what we believe our country is based upon. You've helped us begin this important work. You expect us to look toward change. You want us to find new ways that will guide our institution in being a place where all students are heard and valued. I promise you, we can and we will. Now, go out and do great things. Find the ways that you know will help us understand who we are and what we, as a society, are capable of. Keep demonstrating to all of us why you are so uniquely and unabashedly ready to make your mark on the world. Class of 2020, On behalf of the entire University of Nevada, Reno, it gives me great pride to offer you congratulations on your truly magnificent achievement. You've earned this moment. I know you're going to make it count. We are proud of you. Go Pack.
Please welcome Dominique Hall, our president of the Associated Students of the University of Nevada, to give the student welcome.
To the classes of spring and fall 2020, congratulations. However long it took to complete your undergraduate studies, you all have endured so much within these past few years. At one point in your journey, you fell in love with the University of Nevada, Reno. Whether that was your first step onto the campus or within your first year, you made the university your home, and you truly excelled in your academic life. Each year brought on new excitement, a new journey, and a new lust for all of life's glories. Glories such as new relationships and new experiences. Within these new experiences, you have gotten through life's hard times personal to each and every one of you. Think of your peers. You all have gotten through one of the toughest times in history. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought many unique challenges, from financial challenges, economic challenges, to health challenges. You have all gotten through college in the hardest time in recent history. That within itself is inspiring. As a future graduate of the University of Nevada, Reno, I am inspired by all of you. I am proud of all of you. The future is bright for all of you graduates. No matter where you go, please know you can always come back to your home, your alma mater, the University of Nevada, Reno. Congratulations, Wolfpack spring and fall classes of 2020.
Thank you, Dominique. Please welcome Will Carrasco, president of the Graduate Student Association of the University of Nevada.
Hello, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Will Carrasco, and I am your Graduate Student Association president. I would first like to thank you for this opportunity to talk. As I first started to write this speech, I thought about all the different things I could tell you as you move forward onto the next chapter of your life. I could talk about how hard you worked to get to where you are today. I could talk about how proud you should all feel about your accomplishments. I could tell you that you have your whole life ahead of you, and this is just the beginning of all the amazing things that you are going to do. I could tell you to remember to thank your family and friends because they have supported you throughout your entire journey. Although all these things are true, especially that last one, this is not what I'm going to talk about today. Today I'm going to talk about sleep, because most of you, especially you graduate students, have not had very much in the past few years. I have learned recently, one typically spends more than 8 hours a day at work, 8 hours a day with loved ones, and 8 hours a day in bed. So my advice to you is to doggedly pursue both a career and a companion you love unconditionally. And then go out and buy yourself a really comfortable mattress. With that being said, you are moving on to a very new and exciting chapter of your life. It is important for you to remember what is important to you most. Having a well-balanced work, social, and personal life are all things very important. I want to encourage you all to take some risks and try new things. And remember to never stop learning. Apply for that job, take that trip, and ask the person out you've always wanted to. Because if 2020 has taught us anything, it is we don't know how life might change. So always remember what Oprah Winfrey said. The greatest courageous act that we all must do is have the courage to step out of our history and our past so that we can live our dreams. Thank you, and go Pack.